Hi, I'm Anthony from learningtoplaytheguitar.net. This video continues on from the 12-bar blues structure video previously and looks at a thing called the spread rhythm, which is used in lots of blues and a lot of also 50s rock and roll tunes, most famously used by players such as Chuck Berry. It's called spread rhythm because it involves spreading your fingers across the neck to play in this sort of pattern here. So for the example, we're going to look again at a blues in A, because in this case it will use open strings, making the pattern much easier to play. So for the spread rhythm pattern in A, it only involves playing 2 strings at a time and only involves placing your fingers on one string of the guitar, so it's a fairly easy pattern to play. So first off, we're going to place our first finger here on the 2nd fret of the D string or the 4th string, and basically what's going to happen, we're going to get my pick over here, we're going to pluck these 2 strings here, the 5th string and the 4th string, so the A string and the D string. And you've got 2 of them, and then the next part of the pattern is to place my 3rd finger 2 frets away here on the 4th fret, again on the 4th string, and pluck 2 of them. So you simply go backwards and forwards. So the trick to this is just to pluck those 2 strings backwards and forwards, so 2 of each. And that's your basic spread rhythm, which is in lots of lots of blues songs and lots of more rock and roll. So this is sort of a swing feel, which is used in blues. Rock and roll is more of a straight feel of like sort of Johnny B. Good sort of stuff. So Chuck Berry uses this sort of pattern all the time. So one of the tips to help this stretch is to make sure the thumb's not all the way over the top of the neck, because it can limit the stretch a bit. So generally somewhere like there, or even if you're finding that it's a bit hard to stretch your fingers out, place the thumb more behind the neck in an upwards position. Again, avoid the sideways thing, because that will also limit the stretch of those fingers across the front of the fretboard there, and also will put strain on your wrist. So that's the pattern for A, because that's using the A string here as the bass note. So for D, we just jump the pattern over. So one finger now will move over to the G string here, and then we're going to pluck open D and the open G string, so the middle 2 strings, the 4th and the 3rd string, and the same pattern will just happen now. Backwards and forwards. So that's for D. And the 3rd chord in the blues in A that we're talking about here is going to be the pattern for E. So we actually go down my first finger here now on the A string on the 2nd fret, and we're going to pluck the open low E string here and the 6th string and the 5th string now. The same old pattern, but just on different strings. Again, just 2 strings. So that's the 3. So you've got A, D, and E. So the big challenge of this, of course, is to not hit the other string. So it's a good exercise in developing accuracy in your plucking over here with your guitar pick. So make sure you hit just those 2 strings, otherwise it does get very messy sounding. Okay, so here is the 12-bar blues using the spread rhythm pattern. So we're going to have 4 bars of A, 2 bars of D, back to 2 bars of A, 1 bar of E, 1 bar of D, and a bar of A, finishing on a bar of E.